Here's your daily dose of fitness, food, and fun. Anjelica's Daily Surprise starts now.
Hello there! Surprise! We're not in my apartment today. We are actually at Comedy Bar at Bloor and Ossington in Toronto, and it is one of my absolute favorite comedy venues in the city. It's different than a regular comedy club. So comedy clubs usually have a roster of acts that perform at the club all the time, but Comedy Bar is very special because different producers come in and you can produce in either the cab space or the main space, so you're getting different shows 7 nights a week, fresh lineups, and it's a lot of fun. So it is Wednesday, and my favorite show on a Wednesday is the Underground Comedy Show, and it's run by one of my absolute favorite producers, Puff Mama, who you've seen on the Daily Surprise before. And today is International Women's Day, which means she has a fierce lineup, a fierce all-female lineup of comedians who are also producers, and I'm one of them. So you're gonna stick around, check out the Comedy Bar, chat to some comics, and see part of the show. Let's go. I'm a recently retired professional belly dancer, and now I do stand-up comedy. Really bad at picking stable jobs. Really bad. I've just been doing this for like a decade. This is how I sing for my supper. I used to do a lot of weddings. I actually got a call from a former client the other day. She's like, "Do you remember me? You danced at my wedding 11 years ago." And I was like, "Oh my God, yes, of course I remember you." And she's like, "Great. Well, now I want you to dance at my second wedding. Everything's gonna be different except you and the caterer." This woman has had a longer, more successful relationship with me and a caterer than her now ex-husband. So this is a show that I've done a bunch of times, and you know, there's always a little bit of stress with stand-up comedy, and if there isn't, it means you don't really care. But I'm not so stressed out that I can't have you guys here. You know what I mean? So I think it should be a fun set. I'm running my showcase for Just for Laughs, and right now my showcase is in 2 weeks, and you get 7 minutes, and so right now I'm trying to figure out which jokes I want to include in my set that showcase who I am and that give the booker the best sense of me as a person. So I've been struggling with a few jokes right now. I'm still trying to figure out whether or not I'm going to keep them in, but that's what shows like tonight are all about, is kind of trial and error and figuring out if these jokes are going to make the cut. You might see me bomb tonight. You know what I hate? I hate it when I have jokes where I'm like, these are for sure going to work. And then those are the only jokes that don't work, and then my confidence is shattered and I lose faith in the material, and then that's the last show before the showcase. Yeah, that's happened before. But the thing with stand-up is every audience is different, every show is different, so you never really know what's gonna happen. The best you can do is to just do it as often as possible so that you can be prepared for any circumstance. And there's the producer, Puff Mama. How are you?
Okay, can I have you on camera?
Yes! You're gonna be doing a lot more than that. I mean, not in that way. Belly dancing kept me active, better than working at an office. I worked at an office for a few months, got fired. Make some noise if you work at an office here. Anybody? Wow, okay, that's a big response for working at an office. Okay, can I tell you, have you ever done this? Have you ever farted so bad at your desk? I wasn't finished asking, but thank you for your honesty. Have you ever farted so bad at your desk that you had to vape to make the smell go away? Oh, hello. So we're in the calm before the storm of the show here, and I've snagged our producer, Puff Mama, who you recognize as our THC baking aficionado on the Daily Surprise.
As I'm cheersing with some whiskey.
Cheers, cheers to you. This is what happens once the apartment doors close. But anyways, Puff Mama, a very special person to me. I know we talked a little bit about it on the show once before, but she actually had a club called the Underground Comedy Club. A lot of famous people rolled through there. You were able to smoke weed inside. And then bylaws fucked it all up. And the pandemic, of course. But Puff Mama gave me some of my biggest chances as a brand new comedian. And I really appreciate it. And she's always been such a loving, kind presence in my life. And now she doesn't have to pay rent on a freaking space, which is great. I love that for you. But she produces at the Comedy Bar weekly. So that is tonight, Wednesdays at 9:30, the Underground
Comedy show. Named after the club.
Named after the club. And today's a very special night because it's the International Women's Day show. So tell us more about it.
Well, tonight's show, I decided that I was going to pick all ladies because, well, I would get in trouble if I didn't. And then I decided, though, I was going to pick all women who were movers and shakers in the industry. So every comic that's on tonight is either a producer or has some TV stuff going on or an album recorded. So
yeah, no, this is a really solid lineup tonight.
Get like a trampoline effect, you know, where it all keeps bouncing further.
I think everybody on the show has a show. Yeah, bitches are very funny. I think everybody on the show tonight has a show at Comedy Bar. If I'm not
that
mistaken.
was sort of ironic that I was like, oh, hey, wait a minute, I guess it's my crew now. It's all good.
And you're going to be hosting the show, right?
Yeah, I won't do much hosting because I've decided to cram on extra girls, so I'll just be introducing everybody.
Yeah,
Giving them props.
And you're one of the most like tender, loving producers in the comedy industry in this country, I swear. You're so nice.
Until I'm not.
What do you mean? I've never seen you not be nice.
No, because you're always cool.
I've never wronged you.
You never wronged me, so you don't see that side. But come on, we're both Irish. You know that side.
Yes, we are both Irish.
We're cool until we're not.
And one of my favorite jokes, you told this joke, and it was about how when there's a guy in a car playing music loud and you're trying not to walk on the same beat as his music. I don't know why that joke has just forever stuck with me. It's so funny because that's happened to me before.
It happens all the time. I'm walking down the street and I'm trying, I don't want him to think that I like music. So
You're purposefully walking off beat.
I gotta alter my beat or just trying to attract attention, I guess.
Do you
It's
wanna?
always the douchiest music.
I know,
Sorry.
I know. It's fine.
Anyway.
Let the emotions flow.
Just saying.
Do you want to open another comedy club someday?
Maybe. I mean, I miss the club. I didn't mind paying rent. It's just, you know, all the people got weird when the pandemic came around. Woo, everyone got weird. Try and make people laugh.
Well, something about forcefully exhaling indoors, I think, kind of freaks people out, right?
It was also all the other stuff, all the damage that got caused from everybody. You know, when they needed laughter so bad, and like, but when you tell the same jokes, I'm like, but you're not laughing now.
Yeah.
They're just thinking about their shit.
I remember.
Society's almost back to normal, I feel, maybe.
It is.
But also, it's all the cleaning. Ugh.
No. You were constantly mopping the floors.
At work, all the mopping, shopping. Ugh.
Mopping and shopping.
So
Ladies be
I ain't
mopping.
doing any of that.
I remember you had one of the last social gatherings I went to before the pandemic.
Our attempt at an Irish Paddy's Day show.
Because
which is
St.
almost
Patrick's
exactly
Day-
3 years ago.
3 years ago. St. Patrick's Day technically got canceled a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I love how we all got together and you were wearing plastic gloves and we were all sitting at different
We were all
tables.
wearing plastic gloves, no masks. We didn't know
No
what to
masks.
do.
We didn't know what to do yet.
Yeah.
But we were all sitting at different tables.
And we were all too depressed to do comedy, which never happens to, especially Irish.
Yeah, we were just kind of hanging out with each other and little did we know it would be the last time any of us saw each other for a while.
Oh well.
But I remember the Underground Comedy Club fondly.
Thank you.
Joe Rogan performed there. Who else performed there of note?
Eric Andre was there, Robert Kelly, Tony Hinchcliffe, Scott Thompson many times.
Mm-hmm.
The list could go on and on. I don't know. That just came off the top of my head.
Yeah, it was really great.
Why did I not name any women? Oh my god.
Oh my God, it's International Women's Day, Pop.
Whoa, obviously Precious Chong came there a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, we're gonna have a great time at your show. I'm excited. And then we bake together tomorrow. It's International Women's Day. I'm talking about periods. Are you ready? Let's go. I've been having a lot of period sex lately. Yeah, do we like it? You get to skip foreplay. It's good. Been having a lot of period sex. Hey, my boyfriend moved in with me. Okay, I got a lot of dark towels on standby. I wave them at him like I'm a bullfighter. Toro, Toro! Starfish, that's how I end. I end in a big old starfish because let me tell you, I'm the breadwinner in the couple. Okay, so we're with one of the badass babes on the show tonight. We're with Jesse Olen here.
Hello.
She's an amazing comic and a producer as well. So we're pulling her for a chat. I've been watching a lot of Love Island. Sorry, do you watch Love Island?
I have been watching Love Island, but I'm caught up on Perfect Match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Perfect Match.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
In Love Island, they're like, I'm gonna pull so-and-so for a chat. And now it's like kind of bled into my vernacular.
Love it.
So how did you get into comedy and what inspired you to get into stand-up?
Yeah, so I kind of like accidentally stumbled into stand-up comedy. I decided to take a comedy course because I was running a podcast that I had a bunch of comedians as guests on.
Okay.
And I wanted to just learn a little bit more about like the writing process.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, kind of like behind the scenes comedy.
I started off by taking a class too.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea how to start. I
Yeah.
didn't know about the open mics or anything.
There's no information, just like readily available.
Honestly, if I had
Yeah.
started by going to an open mic, I probably would not have done comedy at all.
Yeah, exactly. So I took this course, and our showcase at the end was like a Zoom mic still because it was during the pandemic.
Pandemic!
Yeah. And I hated it. I was like, never mind, this isn't for me. And then I tried an in-person open mic, and it was
Yeah.
like, oh wait,
Yes.
like, I love this.
Yeah.
And that was, I like did that open mic, and I was like, okay. And then I just got like, I dove really headfirst into it, and started doing like going to mics like 5 times a week. It was
Props
really
to
intense.
people who started comedy during the pandemic, honestly, because like to not have known what it was like before the pandemic, I would have been, I don't know what I would have thought.
Yeah.
Because it was really hard to keep going as somebody that started. I'm celebrating 6 years in stand-up coming up soon.
Yeah.
And you know, when you get the taste of it and then it's taken away from you.
I can't even imagine.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I was a comedy audience member, like specifically a Toronto comedy audience member for
Right.
years. So I was going to so many shows all the time
That's
before
great.
the pandemic hit. And I think that's part of why I inevitably ended up in comedy, because I was in the community a bunch already. Was
Yeah.
just like the one laughing very loudly in the front row. Like,
You were in
all
the front
time.
row?
Oh, I was a front row person for sure. I
Wow.
have a big laugh. And so I like learned when I started going to shows that like other people would laugh more as well around me.
Yes.
So I was like, I feel
Positive
like this is an asset
influence.
to the team. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Wow, so how long have you been doing stand-up then for?
So it's been a little over a year and a half.
Okay,
So I'm still
wow.
like pretty new. But I did like jump in pretty hard.
You've made such an impact. You're a producer. You produce a ton of shows.
I produce way too many shows. But most of the time it's great.
But that's great, you know, because when you start comedy, you got to produce, you got to experience everything.
For sure.
And
I
then
really-
that way you get stage time, all the
Yeah.
good stage time too.
Well, and I really found, because I was like so in the Toronto comedy scene as an audience member, when I got into doing comedy and like learned what it was like
Yeah.
in a bunch of different rooms that I'd never been in before, I realized that there were like issues
Yeah.
that I didn't love, and like in a very male-dominated industry. So I wanted to run shows that were more for like women and queer audiences,
Yeah.
who could come and have a good time and feel comfortable,
Yeah.
and not be shamed or something like that.
Yeah.
So that was why that kind of put like, I guess like me into gear to want to get into producing shows earlier, because I had something I like wanted to create.
Nice. And you produce shows at Comedy Bar, right?
Yeah, I do 2 shows here at Comedy Bar. So I have a main space show called Your Place or Mine. That's the same name as my podcast.
Nice.
So that's like safer space comedy with sexy, not safe for work jokes.
Yes.
So that's like an 11 p.m. Friday, like super
Yeah.
horny, rowdy, ridiculous show. And then I run a show in Cab Space with Gordon Hecht.
Nice.
And that show's called Double Date, and it's a night of relationship-inspired comedy co-hosted by a slut and someone else's husband. So him and I like go up on stage together and play off each other as me, the very open one, and him, the like much calmer, more subdued one. It's a lot of fun.
Yes, yes. He is going to be a father very soon.
He is.
So
He is.
He's been getting up to no good. Let's just say that.
Yeah. I love it.
Anyways, thank you so much for chatting with
thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Great chatting.
Check. 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Yes. They're about to open the doors and let the people in, and we're gonna get this show started. Cheers. I got one good daddy, chambered at all times. Daddy. Right? Does it sound like you? At your office job? Your boss comes by, he's like, do you have those papers? And you're like, yes, daddy. So we're very lucky. One of the comics on tonight's show is Kathy Boyd, who you might recognize from season 1 of Canada's Got Talent. She absolutely killed it.
Yeah.
And we actually did the Seattle International Comedy Festival together. She's amazing. She's super funny. Kathy, how did you get started in comedy?
By accident. Yeah.
That seems to be the common answer.
Yeah, I took the writing course at Second City.
Yes.
And then when we were finished, I had nothing to do on Tuesday night, so I tagged along with a friend that was going to stand up. Yeah, that was it. I fell in love.
Yeah, and it's the kind of thing where it's like, yeah, I'll just do this Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, and then all of a sudden it's every night of the week, and then your relationships deteriorate. And then it's just you in the open road, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about stand-up?
What's my favorite thing? The laughs. I mean, there's nothing better like the adrenaline rush, especially afterwards. Like I find when I go home, I don't know about you, but I can't get to sleep. I'm up for hours, like, calming myself down. I just love making people laugh. Yeah. Same for you?
And yes, definitely the laughs and the glory.
Glory.
It's one step forward, 2 steps back, though. I find
it is.
You get a little bit of that, and then you get your ass handed to you on a plate, and you get told you're nothing. You'll never make it in this town, and then you don't feel confident or you bomb. Well, that's how I feel, not you, really.
No, I feel that way today, as a matter of fact. And it's my birthday. I shouldn't feel that way. But I feel that way. Yeah, thank God I got a show to do, right?
Did you get a blowjob today?
No, I did not. And I got no batteries either, so,
Oh, that's a deep cut. That's from one of Kathy's jokes. It's okay, you can come on in. All right, they're not coming in. What are your greatest hopes for stand-up comedy?
Hopes?
Yeah, what do you want?
Oh, the JFL showcases are going on right now.
Yes.
Yeah, well, there's 20 of them, and I didn't get on one, so that was my hope, to get on one of those, maybe get there someday.
You got to harass producers.
Yeah, well, they've already made their selection.
No, don't think like that.
Yeah.
You got to...
So it's kind of cyclical.
Send your tape to Neil.
I will.
Don't include this. This is just shop talk.
Yeah. Well, you asked. Yeah.
Where would you like to do stand-up comedy? If there's like a theater or a place?
You know what? My dream job would be to work on a cruise ship, honestly.
You want to work on a cruise ship?
Yes, I would do that in a heartbeat. I love cruising, and I think I would.
You love cruising? Do you know what cruising is?
On the open
There's
sea.
2 meanings.
On the open
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Not Al Pacino cruising. No.
Cruises are actually very hard for comedians. You have to have like 90 minutes clean, and then you got to see all the people on the cruise before and after your set, and then you're stuck with them because it's like a floating condominium.
But I think I'd be a good fit, because
No, I think you'd be really good.
Demographic and all. They might not get my jokes so well.
And how many kids do you have again?
I have 4 kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what do they think of your stand-up? Do they come out and see you?
No, they don't come out and see me, the Rodden kids. No, well, one of them lives in Mexico.
Oh, really?
He lives in Mexico. And my daughter sometimes comes, my youngest.
Yeah.
But the other 2 one lives in New Brunswick and one's up in Ottawa. So she'll come when I perform.
You do have a couple jokes about them,
Yes, I
but
do.
are they always afraid? Are they afraid to say things in front of you in case you'll turn it into material?
No, but they'll say something and immediately say, don't disclose that. Yeah.
What jokes are you working on right now? Do you have anything new that you're excited about?
Yeah, I've got something. Oh, bless you. I've got some jokes in the works, you know, about. I had a little health scare, you know, and no, just a small one. It's okay.
What, like a mole?
No, but it's okay. And so I was thinking, oh my God, I'm so glad I have my family
and comedy
with me, you know. And I have 4 kids and I have 6 grandchildren.
Wow.
And my husband. So you know, if I ever need a donor, you know.
Oh wow.
Kidney or anything.
Okay. Yeah, they better step up to the plate.
Yeah.
Well, Kathy, thank you so much for talking to me. I love watching your stand-up. You have such a unique perspective, and I appreciate your time.
Okay, thanks.
It's International Women's Day, so I'm wearing track pants, and I'm going to whine about my boyfriend. It's actually a pretty exciting time in my life. My boyfriend and I have been talking about getting engaged, and we started talking about my ring, and that's where everything went off the rails. He's like, you're going to be getting a family heirloom. I'm like, honey, you're from Hamilton. You're literally from a place that has an infamous puddle that's constantly being talked about in the local news because it blocks the entrance to the Tim Hortons. Like, you don't have heirlooms. Sadly, I have a feeling like the only thing being passed down through his family is alcoholism and high blood pressure. Well, that's been the show. I hope you enjoyed my set. You should come back in person sometime and check out Comedy Bar. There's 2 locations, one here, Bloor and Ossington in Toronto, or you can make the trek all the way out to the Danforth. That's been Anjelica's Daily Surprise. Let's go back to the apartment. See you tomorrow.